is the cheapest way to stop squat on your truck also the best way?
Seriously?
Let's find out. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Anton, a power engineer, industrial mechanic, and a Red Seal electrician. We cover all kinds of products and topics in an approachable way for the average everyday person. I'm glad you found us. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. We've looked at ways to stop your truck from squatting in the past using Timbren's rubber puck method, and I'm not sure I like that. So today I'm going to walk you through how to install an inexpensive airbag system on your tow vehicle, and then we're going to hook it up and see what the results look like. So follow us for this complete install and test journey. Now, the proper way to fully see what we're talking about is to see how much the truck sags when it takes the weight of the trailer without any sort of help. We're just going to take the weight all the way off. Holy. Now you guys can get a real good idea what we're looking at here. So you see how high it is in the front here. We've got tons of space there. And then if we come around to the back, look how much that's squatting down. You can see my trailer's sitting down at a bit of a slope as well. The truck clearly sitting in a slope. It's really easy to see. Now this is no good. This creates all kinds of safety issues, and your lights aren't going to be aligned properly. You do not want to be that guy towing down the highway with your truck squatting that much. So let's get the airbags installed, and then we'll see how it looks so much different when we pump those things up. Now this is the kit that we're going to be installing here. It comes with some tubing, comes with both airbags. So this is one and this is two, and they've got the nipple on there ready to go. And then it also comes with a bag full of goodies. And inside this bag we've got some rubber spacer pucks. Actually, they're not rubber, they're plastic. And we're gonna need these. It's important to install those. The reason I like this kit is because it comes with two separate Schrader valves. Now the reason this is important is because a lot of kits have just one of these valves, and when you install the airbags, you've got one on that side and one on that side. But because they come together to one Schrader valve, if this side of the truck gets a little extra loaded, it pushes the extra air over to that side. So it actually allows the truck to kind of rock back and forth when you're riding, whereas I want each to work independently. So we're going to install them with one on this side and one Schrader valve, and one on this side and one Schrader valve. So they can be pumped up separately, and they do not share that air, so it can't transfer from one side to the other, which makes for a much more stable load. So we've got those Schrader valves, and then there's some clamps and clips and all of that, which we're gonna look at closer after we get those airbags in. Now this is a case of do as I say, don't do as I do. So all I'm doing is using a jack to jack the frame of the truck up. And what that's done is actually opened the coils on the suspension a lot wider. So it's gonna be real easy to slide those bags into the space around the springs. If you don't do that, then you end up with some tight springs, and it's really hard to get those in there. So that's the first thing we're gonna do, is put those in, and then we can worry about the airline management. Now I do wanna talk a second about installing the airbags. I have a special trick that makes it extra easy to install the airbags, and I'm going to show you that right now. One thing I find that makes it really easy to get it in is to get the air out of it so it's more squishable. So I've attached the air line to the top already, and then all I did was sat on it, squeezed as much air out as I could, and then make sure that I have the Schrader valve on. This is not the final install here, but the Schrader valve will help to seal the whole system so that this is a much more shapeable and pliable so that we can get it into the space in that spring. So now we're gonna go and try and fish this thing into that spring space.
3 weeks later. One eternity later.
So we've got our wolf box here, which we reviewed in a different video. Now, one thing I'm gonna do is pass this air line right out the top. There's a hole through there, so before it's super tight, I can pull this down a bit, and then that lets me pass this air right out the top. So that is it in position now. Some vehicles actually have the hole in the bottom. This one does not have a hole in the bottom, which is why we wanted the airline to go out the top. It's wide open up top, so it can come out the top, and then you can see it just fits right down beside the frame, and we can route that all the way back. We're gonna route that all the way back over to here. So we'll do that install shortly. But once that's in, just like that, it's going to sit exactly where we want it to once we take the weight off the truck. So now we're gonna do the exact same thing for the other side, and then I'll show you how to clean up the airlines and do the final connections and where we're gonna place those. With the hard part done, we've got it on both sides. Ran the line up here, just, you can kind of see up on this side of the truck bed. I've got it tucked up over here. We're gonna tie wrap it up later. The most important thing is to make sure it's nowhere near your exhaust pipe, because the exhaust pipe will melt a hole in it and that'll render the whole system useless. So I've got this side run over here. I've got the other side run over here. Then we're gonna find a spot to put them. Now, usually, if you don't have your trailer connections here, you would put one on that side of the license plate and one on that side of the license plate. But since I've got all of this over here, I'm thinking I'm gonna put them right beside each other here. So all we gotta do is drill a hole for this to poke through. And for those of you curious, this bit is a 19/34. You don't have to be exact, just something that is big enough that these will fit through. And because this is our final install, I can pull this off now. Just let the air out until all the air's out of that guy. These are barbed ends, so it might be hard to get them off. So I'm gonna just use some side cutters and then make a new end. There's the other one. You can see it's seated all the way there. That's what you want to do if you can. If you're not strong enough or you're having problems, you can always heat it up with a blow dryer or a heat gun or something. And before we put them in, we want to add one of the nuts that they give you to the back side. This will just make it so that we've got something substantial to attach to. We'll do the same for the other one. They did also come with some black rubber washers. So what I'm doing is putting the metal washer on first, on after the nut. Then I'm gonna put the rubber washer on, like that. And then I'm gonna put this through from the back side, like that. And then on the front side, you've got this little spiky washer. So I'm gonna put the spiky washer on here. And then you've got another nut that goes on this side. Hold it all down, and that's attached. So we'll do the same for the other side. And that is our 2 air fittings for filling up. Now, standard practice would be the one on the left side would be for the left wheel. The one on the right side would be for the right wheel. You don't have to put them like that. You can put them however you want. It's just that makes the most sense to whoever's filling it up, because you're going to watch that side lift up, watch that side lift up, depending on which side you're lifting. So this makes the most sense for me. Obviously, I've got to use those tie wraps just to tie the hoses up. You can put them anywhere you want, just keep them out of the way. With these ports right here, all we're going to do is plug my wolf box into this. Just like this. We can turn this on. It'll tell us what our current pressure is, 3 psi, and I'm going to pump it up to 35 psi. And I want you guys to see what happens. So I've got my left and my right. So I'm going to do one and then the other. But I'm going to give you guys the view from back here so you can see what happens to the truck as we go here. Now look at the difference that made. So before we had the front sitting that high, but the back was so much lower. If we just look at it now, that's basically level. The trailer's sitting much better now. If we come up to this angle over here, you can see that's sitting so much better. Now let me walk you through. I prefer this air ride system over some of those rubber bump stop type systems. Mostly this system is actually cheaper. I'll put links in the description to the system that I actually used, especially since this is a Dodge Ram which has coil springs in the back. If you have leaf springs, it's going to cost you a little bit more money for your air ride system, but not much more. And the advantages are tremendous, mostly because the unloaded ride is going to be totally unaffected. But the loaded ride is going to be that much better. And if you use a portable air system like what I just used, you can pump it up and adjust it as needed whenever you want. So now we've got our ride set exactly how we want it. It's nice and level. It's going to be no drama on the highway, and it's totally custom suited to your specific needs. If your trailer's not very full, you don't need as much air. If you've got a big heavy trailer like I do, you need a little bit more air. But it's so much more customizable than those rubber bump stop systems, and the ride is infinitely better. Again, if you want to get any of the products that you've seen in this video, click the links down below. They'll take you to everything that we've used here, as well as that air system, everything. It's all in there. Let me know in the comments what you guys use. Do you prefer one system over the other? I'd love to hear about it. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.